Here's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Hey, you gumpers, Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show from expatsportugal.com. It's a show, it's a live stream, it's a podcast. And how are you today on this very special day in the Portuguese calendar, in Portuguese history, Portuguese culture? It is, of course, Portugal Day. So, hola, bom dia de Portugal this morning. So please shout that to it. Actually, we'll find out at 9 o'clock what the appropriate greeting is, but I hope I'm among the first in your friendship group, in your community, to wish you a happy Portugal Day. How are you doing today? Are you getting ready for a lovely weekend? I think people are, but Filomena is live from the Bleach Ranch at 9 o'clock. So we'll find out all about Portugal Day, Dia de Portugal, and the significance of Luis de Camões. Mistakenly mentioned or mistook him for another Portuguese cultural icon, Fernando Pessoa, but who was, of course, much later in Portuguese history. And there may be some Pessoa references today, of course, as all things Portuguese are celebrated. What are you up to? The partying really has begun here on a bar. It's rather muggy, close. Lots of lovely words to describe the weather conditions this morning. Close, muggy, balmy, moist, stormy. It's quite a humid morning. Very humid. A humid morning. And disco beats going on in the distance in the night last night. Still, it's 1 or 2 in the morning. The Portuguese people, the Portuguese country is really partying right now. And that's just the start of it here. The Sant Antonio Festival has begun in San Martinho de Porto. Well, it hasn't even begun. It begins today. But the partying began last night. I think there'll be some religious references. But as soon as that's out the way, the eating and the drinking and the dancing will begin. And it's interesting, isn't it? How they all tend to go together. A little bit of a religious nod in a certain direction. And then DJ. O batupe, o batupe, o batupe. Whichever you prefer, the contemporary Portuguese beat. Or the old-fashioned, a bit of accordion there, and the batupe, oh, batupe, oh, batupe. I like that a lot. What are you listening to at the moment? What's on your Portuguese playlist? If you come across anything interesting that you'd like to share with the community. So, Feelgood Friday, Filomena Friday. I've got to sing that until I find a jingle. Maybe Philomena will be able to send that to me, or Owen might be able to. I'm so sorry. I do have a lovely big jingle pad these days, and who doesn't like a big jingle pad in the morning? So there's no excuse, no reason for me to lose any jingles anymore, which is what I've been doing. I only had 3 jingle buttons. I think I've got the capacity for 64 now, so do watch out for that. Before we get too excited, let's have a look at a beautiful sunset from yesterday. Some weird stuff happening with the picture deck this morning. Jingle's good, video's good, but the stills are struggling a little bit. A couple of videos from Victoria. Victoria, you're such a wonderful photographer, videographer. Let's have a look at these. Last night, what does Victoria say? Feel Good Friday vibes. Last night, stunning skies over the Portimão suspension bridge. Over the River Arad. I didn't know you had a suspension bridge in Portimão. We did a Cascais webinar special last night with Wiley. And we had to remind Anna and Wiley that other nice places are also available in Portugal as well as Cascais. We discovered last night that you can't really get anything for less than 10 gazillion trillion over that way. That's just the monthly rent. That's not buying somewhere. Actually, we did. Wiley let us into a few secrets. She is, of course, a buyer's agent working in that area. And it's still possible, if you're in the know, as she is, to find somewhere nice in Cascais. But what a wonderful place. Finding out so much last night. Had the chance of becoming a city on account of its population, its scale, but chose to remain a village. Different taxation rules apply, I think, if you're a city or a village, but they wanted to stay a village to retain the cozy feel of Cascais. And I mentioned that because, yeah, we were so focused on Cascais last night. Estoril, Monstril as well. Lovely areas around there. But Portugal, this day of all days, is a great day to remember. There are so many beautiful places, experiences, and wonderful things, and people here in Portugal. Here's a reflection of that from the south, from right down there in the south in Portimão. I mean, really, the colour of that sky, and I think we come back the other way now. It does look lovely, doesn't it? Got to get down there. That's where the second meetup of our set of meetups. Hopefully, one day we'll have meetups in many towns, if most cities for sure, and wonderful parts of Portugal. Our meetup network will grow. Early days, Silver Coast is doing well, and the Portimão meetup kicks off next Thursday. Let me just put that onto the screen. Well done, Jack Polly, for sorting this out. Café pastel de nata, por favor. A serving suggestion as well. I'm a bit surprised, though, actually, I have to say. Just realised the Portimão meetup, Thursday, 16th of June, 12 till 1. Coffee and pastel de nata. That's not the Portimão crew that I know, quite frankly. I would have thought it would be G&T, please. Certainly by that time of day, by midday. But anyway, whatever floats your boat. And there they are, floating boats in Portimão Quay Harbour there. And that's the second of our meetup groups, 913-590-303. I can put you in that. I can send you the direct link to join the group if you get in touch with me, or that the direct link, it may well be put into the comments this morning. Portimão meetup kicking off next Thursday. Isn't that exciting? Great stuff. We have a rather contentious story, news article to look at from the Portugal resident. Maybe compartmentalize the scandal this morning into the first half hour, because it's all going to be fun and games when we find out about Portugal Day. No, it's funny. I'm trying to load some pictures. I got a beautiful sunset last night from Foz do Aurélio. Let me just try that again and see if it works this time round. WhatsApp not downloading the pictures in. Oh, here we've got it now. That's good to know. Yeah, it wasn't loading correctly, but I think it has had its coffee now. The machinery, it's had its IT version of coffee, or whatever computers use to get themselves started in the morning. Look at that glowing orb just resting on the sea there at Foz do Aurélio. Thank you, Phil, for that from yesterday evening, celebrating, I think, an anniversary, the 11th anniversary party for Coco's. Some of you might know Coco's in Foz. It's one of the beach bars there, I believe. And he's also sent me a charming photograph of somebody's fresh bread delivery. The bread hanging on the door. Do you have that yourself? Have you noticed that in Portugal you can get bread delivered, fresh baked bread delivered to your door? Like literally, it hangs off your doorknob as you open your door in the morning. There it is, fresh baked bread, possibly still warm from the bakery, hanging from your door. Baldelox is in with a big old shout out to James this morning. How you doing, Tony? And let's see who else is in this morning. Great to have you here, Tony. Bon dia, Gumpers, of course, from top producer T-Duck, the remote and virtual producer of this show, really, let's face it, T-Duck. Happy Portugal Day with a few Portuguese sayings this morning. Bon dia, Gumpers. That's not a Portuguese saying, but we'll go with that for now. Bon dia, Gumpers. Feliz sexta a todos. Como tem passado? Very nice. With a como tem passado there. It's got a lovely lilt to it. Who doesn't like a lovely lilt in the morning? First thing in the morning. Coisas do arco da velha. Things out of the old ark. Unbelievable. Astonishing. Yes, you can hear them every morning here on the Good Morning Portugal show. That's very nice, isn't it? Coisas do arco da velha. Things out of the old ark. And quem anda a chuva, molha-se. Who walks in the rain gets wet. You have to deal with the consequences. These are brilliant. They seem to be an unending source of these as well. Well done, T-Duck. Keep it up. I know you like to keep it up first thing in the morning. Casa de Mãe Joana. Casa de Mãe Joana. The old Joanna's. The old Joanna in Cockney is the piano, isn't it? Mother Joanna's house, a disorganized place where everyone may enter. That is lovely. Most families have a Mãe Joana. I can think of all the lovely aunts and grandmas from my childhood, some of whom had a house like that, bit disorganized, smells of cooking probably, or dogs, or cats, and a lovely warm welcome is assured you. Maybe apple pie if you're American, the smell of apple pie. Anonymous dad jokes. No, T-Duck, you you can't do that. You you have to take responsibility, and we have to give the appropriate warning to our friends here this morning. So here you go.
Warning. Warning.
Oh no, indeed. I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what he laced them with, but I can't stop tripping. You can't tell that to your kids, can you? Maybe teenagers, you know. Yeah, I know about these things. You know, bought some shoes from a drug dealer. Don't know what he laced them with, but I can't stop tripping. Oh dear, that needed this, didn't it? Rim shot. Who doesn't like a rim shot first thing in the morning? There's a new restaurant called Karma. They don't have a menu. You get what you deserve. Wow. Okay. When it comes to the spiritual education, when you have that captive audience of kids on the back seat of the car, that's the ideal time, isn't it, to treat them to a dad joke? And the old "can anyone smell petrol" routine, which is a favorite of many fathers, isn't it? Dogs have masters, cats have staff. So true. That's true. That's true. William Rogers, to give him his a full and appropriate and formal title. There's probably more to it than that, even, isn't there? William Rogers quote of the day, anyway. The minute you read something that you can't understand, you can almost be sure that it was drawn up by a lawyer. Well, I'm afraid to say that's probably true, isn't it? Actually, a lot of professionals do that, don't they? Because they've got to justify their segregation of their part of the world and then charge you lots of money for it. So fair play. Lurking. We all got to make a living. Lurking, but for how long? Oh, she's gone already. Honestly, you and Joe Biden, what are you like? Cindy B, Feliz Dia de Portugal, Gumpers. How you doing, Cindy, this morning? And Nubianet, great to see you here. Not lurking. Yeah, you've declared yourself no longer lurking at that point. You've crossed the line, the lurking line. But we have actually got no problem with the lovely lurkers. There are gumpers and lurkers. I suppose the big circle, if we're talking in terms of Venn diagrams, is a big circle of gumpers. Everyone's a gumper, even if they don't know about it yet. We're all gumpers, aren't we? It's a way of being, a bit like how they say, you know, Buddhism isn't really a religion. It's a code of conduct or a set of values. We're much like that here on the, I'm not likening myself to the Buddha, by the way. But yeah, we're much like, we're Buddhists here, aren't we? Of a kind with our value system and our relationship to each other and our sense of community. Gumpers, you're all gumpers, but some of you lurk. And some of you lunge. Yeah, lungers and lurkers, I suppose. Some of you lunge forward with comments. Like Gary. Bon dia, flipping fab Friday, guys. That's very 80s, isn't it? You could be a TV presenter with catchphrases like that. Gary Orgles, good morning to you. Baddy's in as well with a bon dia from sunny SMDP with a little wink there. Ooh, right back at you, Baddy. And Feliz Dia Portugal as well. Well done, everybody. Hola, bon dia. Happy Portugal Day. Yes, of course it is. More to discover about this special day in the Portuguese calendar when Filomena joins us at 9. Filomena Friday. Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants. I'd never thought of it like that. Now, every time I hear a techno beat, as you put it there, I will be thinking to myself, boots and pants, boots and pants, boots and pants. Why have I never heard that? Bit partial to a bit of DJing back in the day, and I never heard that. Boots and pants, and boots and pants, and boots. It's like that, yo. Boots and pants and boots and pants. Yes, Lee McGrady. How are you? If you just tuned in, don't worry. Good, but do stay. Pull up a chair, or recline on your chaise longue and soak it up. As Lee McGrady is doing before he goes to work this morning. Good morning, people. Lovely picture, Lee McGrady. Very nice. I think you might be in Portugal, judging by the calçadas behind you. And that loved up look on your face, that loved up Lisboeta look on your face there. 10 gazillion trillion. Yes, that's right. That's how much it costs to get a place in Cascais. And that's just rent, not purchase price. Comedic and erotic novel entry. I hate it when I lose my jingles. She just slaps her forehead. Are you writing these down anywhere? Are you going to surprise us? We've got Jerry's book of Portuguese castles, the coffee table edition, hopefully out and available at all good booksellers and even Amazon. Come Christmas, not another bloody castle. Jerry's celebration of Portuguese castles. He loves them really. And Rishab is here. Bon dia, Carl. Happy birthday. Oh, sorry, not just to me. Oh, have a good one, Carl. And bon dia. Happy Portugal Day to everyone. A todos. Oh, somebody new. A lurker who's lunged. That lurker has crossed the line and lunged into the limelight. Hola, bon dia from Bunsburio. Interesting. Bunsburio. Is that the name of the little character in the picture there? Because I can see that as a children's story. Gather round, children. It's story time. Once upon a time, there was a little teddy bear called Bunsburio. Am I right? Am I right? Or have I just offended your entire family? Because that's actually the name of the family that I'm making light of there. I wonder, I walk away from that as though nothing happened. Bon dia, everyone. Happy Portugal Day from Kawaii Pandas. My daughter saw, for some reason, I might have been doing a bit of editing or something. My daughter saw your Kawaii Pandas picture. And as, as kids seem to do, oh, have kids always done that? Or is that a kind of YouTube thing now? Oh, Deborah Davies is here as well. Morning to you, Kawaii Pandas. Morning to you, Deborah Davies. Happy Portugal Day. How you doing there? Loving the steampunk goggles, if that's what they are. Or is it 2 tins of beer strapped on your head? Don't know. Gumpers and lurkers, quiet gumpers, are all part of the riot. Yeah, absolutely. And give a call out for the barbecue on Sunday. I'm getting a lot of orders, I've got to say, these days. Do this, do that. Why isn't the event on the Expats Portugal page? Well, I don't know, because you haven't put it on there. It really is a straight up honest answer. Lee, thank you. But in a way, that is giving out a call for the barbecue yourself there on Sunday. But yes, of course, we've been mentioning it all week. Let me just spark up Facebook and see if that completely crashes the software this morning. Talk about 10 gazillion million. That's the amount of what is it, memory and RAM or whatever that Facebook's likes to use when it starts. Look, yeah, it's frozen. I'm starting up Facebook alongside the software here, and it's completely. Thank you very much, Lee, for jamming up the show like that. I am starting up Facebook to try and find the barbecue listing. Can someone else help me with that? I'm trying to run a show here, and people giving me orders. Can you do this? Can you do that? If at all possible, if there's something you want me to promote, mention, it will be a great help if you could send me the link as well, so I don't have to do on-air research whilst trying to deliver this fine entertainment and information for you in the morning. Rant over. Been in Portugal for 3 days now. Check it out. Look, I forget to bring my cream for mosquito bites, and of course I got bit. Maybe I will gain superpowers like Spider-Man. Mosquito girl, I need to cough. That was nothing to do with you, that cough. Need some Portuguese agua as well. I think we got to the bottom of the mystery as to why. Actually, that's a good one. I've got a job for you. Can you remind me that when Philomena joins us, why do people prefer to drink bottled water when the tap water is perfectly good enough? I'm going to have some, what am I having? Filtered water right now. Top notes of chalk. So yes, you've been in Portugal for 3 days. Where are you, Kawaii Pandas? Oh, I forgot to bring my cream for mosquito bites, and of course, I got bit. Yeah. Well, it is sold in this country. You might be able to get some. We're bound to get some suggestions for how to avoid mosquitoes coming up, especially for you, Kawaii Pandas. But there are shops here, and you might be able to get some. Goodness gracious. Have you tried the Chinese shops yet? Chinese shops, there'll be some mosquito repellents in there, probably based entirely of topical DDT or something like that, and only 50 cents. Pips, bon dia gumpers, happy Portugal Day. TCIF. I'm not sure what I think I know what the T and the I and the F stand for. I'm not sure about the C there. So I won't make it up. That's not to say I'm not averse to making things up, but I won't in that instance. Bon dia, Carl from Pedro Martins. Feliz dia de Portugal. Thank you, Pedro. Thanks for dropping in this morning and wishing us a happy Portugal Day. And morning all from Elra as well. Haha, that's so cute. Yes, my daughter does the same. Oh, but I'm sure kids, I didn't do that as a kid, but it is a thing now, isn't it? Oh, so cute. Bon dia, Carl and Campos. Feliz dia de Portugal from Deagle as well. Nice one, Deagle. And ótimo final de semana a todos. Para quem vai ao churrasco, vejo-te domingo. Owen, can we have the link to it so that people can see exactly what's going on Sunday? The barbecue in Leiria. We could come up with some nice strap lines. What rhymes with Leiria to do with barbecuing? Like the rumble in the jungle. the beer in Liria. That's my starting point. Let's see what else you can come up with. But Owen, stick the link in the Owen Lee, find the link and pop it in the chat for me, and I'll big it up for all I'm worth. That's so appropriate. That's so appropriate. Brits give a call out, and Yanks give it. Yes, it's right. Sometimes the Brits like to just do a slight whisper out as well. You know, we don't want to make too much of a fuss and a bother. So sorry. Thank Crunchy. It's okay. That wasn't what I was thinking, Pips. Thank you very much for that. And barbecue link sent via WhatsApp. Thank you very much. See, that's why he is the top producer. T-Duck. Look, no sooner has he sent that and told me about it, I can do that. Rather than getting in all of a British dither about it and not knowing quite what to do. Cats, cars, carrots, crumpets. Thank them all. Thank everything that begins with a C. All your C words. Even that one, that it's Friday. Cheers, T-Duck, there from Owen. He doesn't say that, doesn't talk with a West Country accent, do you, Owen? Only on a special occasion, only after a bit of cider. But he's more of a stout man than a cider man. If you want to please the chef on Sunday, bring along some Superboc Preto, stick a cold one of those in his hand on arrival, and he'll cook up a storm. He'll cook up a storm anyway, but that will be the lubricant of choice, I think, for Owen. Superboc Preto. And wouldn't it be great? You can keep your Coca-Cola lorry. We want a Superboc lorry to turn up, don't we, on Sunday? Bon dia, everyone, from the sunny Puffshire, from Abel Pinheiro. A happy Portugal Day. A lot of people coming just to see, I think, what we're going to say about Portugal on Portugal Day. So stick around until 9 for that to occur when Philomena joins us live from the Bleach Ranch. This morning, I believe. Okay, let me just go to that little bit of controversy this morning and share with you on the screen. We have a news item from the Portugal Resi. We know it. We're so familiar with it. We can call it the Resi, can't we, as our news source this morning. I'm definitely going to have to take off all my downloads. Do a lot of editing, of course, with this and podcasting and so on. So my memory soon gets clogged up. Not my own, well, my own personal memory is clogged up for sure. But the computer's memory gets clogged up and makes everything a bit slow and clogged. And I think we might be experiencing a bit of that this morning. However, let's see if we can bring this onto the screen without too much trouble. Nearly there. Well done, computer. I'm going to turn Facebook off. That should help. And look at this. Golden Visa Misery. It's almost a Stranglers song, isn't it? Golden Visa, Texture Like Sun. No, Golden Visa Misery. This is an absolute scandal. That sounds very British, doesn't it? This is an absolute outrage and scandal, an unmitigated disaster, I tell you. And Natasha Don writing on the 8th of June, and we will, of course, ask Gilda about this on Monday. But what do you think of this? Portugal's image tarnished due to CEF crisis, say professionals representing thousands of Golden Visa clients, hundreds, if not thousands of Golden Visa customers. Wealthy individuals intent on investing in this country may now be ruining the day they chose Portugal. Now, why have I got a black screen? What happened there? I think I need to do something here. Well, that looks okay, actually, like that, although I seem to have stopped the show again. But I prefer my blue. I prefer my Portuguese blue. Mrs. M been messing about. There we go. I knew something wasn't quite right. But yes, okay, you could describe Golden Visa customers as wanting to invest in the country. But it's not as if they don't get something out of it themselves, right? So they want a passport, don't they, as well? They want a safe haven in Europe to fully furnish that proposition there. Since the beginning of the year, anyway, anywho, I like that word, anywho, which sounds Scottish, but is really American, isn't it? CEF Borders Agency has effectively decided unilaterally to freeze the residence permit. As if CEF weren't disliked enough already, they've effectively decided unilaterally to freeze the residence permit for investment, also known by its acronym in Portuguese, the ARI. ARI, maybe. ARI, bringing down the drawbridge on new investments and making it impossible even for existing visa holders, the existing ones, to remain legal. My goodness. Golden visas have to be renewed, but with CEF refusing to issue any renewal appointments, every day sees more and more foreign investors finding themselves high and dry. Yes, they are basically all right if they remain in this country, but if they leave, travel becomes a nightmare, as their papers show their residency permits giving them free entry within Schengen space have expired. Ooh dear, that is awkward, isn't it? And not the sort of treatment the well-heeled, the super rich are probably used to, right? I would have thought they would have someone queuing up for them with their expired papers. We are not talking here of a simply, we're not talking here of simply Chinese investors. And maybe I've put the emphasis on incorrectly on that. We're not simply talking here of Chinese investors. I think, no disrespect, Natasha, but you threw me there with simply Chinese investors. The nationality most attracted to the Golden Visa program when it began 10 years ago. The scheme has gone on to attract investors from all over the world, including the US, South America, South Africa, Russia, India, and more recently, the UK, of course. Yes, when free movement was stopped, the Golden Visa would have become an option at 500,000 euros or 350, or whichever way it would be done. As one lawyer whose office has dozens of Golden Visa clients in frustrating limbo. Oh, frustrating limbo. Excellent. Not for them, but just a really good turn of journalistic phrase. Yes, who would want to be caught in a frustrating limbo first thing in the morning? A note on CEF's portal saying all expired visas can be considered valid until June the 30th means nothing in a foreign airport. That's brilliant. Sorry, my papers are out of date. But here's a screenshot of their website with like a gone fishing sign on it. She tells us how one client was arrested. What? They are not used to this. I'm sure the Golden Visa people don't like it up in this way. When he flew into Germany because his papers, yes, people being asked to show papers in Germany because his papers showed his visa was out of date. These are serious people, she stressed. They are now. They are not criminals. Some are former members of governments. Well, that doesn't make them not necessarily not criminals, but I see what the point is being made there. They chose Portugal's Golden Visa scheme, taking it on face value, but they have discovered the reality is that once they have parted with their money, Portugal is not interested in what happens to them. This is an absolute scandal, the lawyer insisted. It's not just a question of, oh, well, this is how things go in Portugal. It's far, far worse. What is happening gives a terrible image of this country. People are already getting wind of this and taking their money elsewhere. We are losing our credibility as a country in which to invest. We will pick this up with Gilda on Monday. And we can already see the look on her face, can't we, about this? Because there's not a massive amount she can actually do about that. But hopefully us talking about it, bringing it to widespread attention might help in some way. Let's see what you're saying. Filomena is limbering up and getting ready to be live from the Bleach Ranch in central Portugal this morning. I don't know if he refers to it. I like the sound of that, the Bleach Ranch. Good morning, everyone from Gemini this morning. And I will try. There is no try, Kawaii Pandas. Come on. I will try some. No, don't put on the liquid DDT from the Chinese shop or do so at your own risk. I imagine some mosquito creams are worse for you than actual mosquito bite. So be careful. I'm in Belinho near Esposende and I don't want to leave. Yeah, you're already sad about leaving. You've only just got there. We know that feeling. What, says Erwin? No sympathy here. People who have money having to follow rules. Scandalous. Ooh. Elra. Honestly, that is such an Elra comment, if you don't mind me saying, as we have become accustomed and know and love from you, Elra. That's brilliant. Okay, well, as I say, we will continue with that on Monday. It is, and I wanted to compartmentalize that little bit of scandal and controversy and basically moaning about the Golden Visa. We will talk about it on Migration Monday with Gilda. And of course, on Monday, the thoughts from the Redwoods as well with James. I'll take that as a compliment. Absolutely, yes. So Elra is a compliment here on the Good Morning Portugal show. Couldn't one just use their home country passport at airports if the Golden Visa is expired? Yes, but their home country passport, if it's not a Schengen, it probably won't be a Schengen passport, will it? Won't give them free movement necessarily around Europe. It might not, but it's yes, you're right. And you imagine, don't you, the Golden Visa holder might be that sort of person who's got one of those underfloor safes with 27 passports in it, 500,000 in cash, maybe a small firearm. and some old love letters, maybe. What else? What else is in the old underfloor safe? Can't tell you, obviously. That will be unsafe to tell you that. So let us go then. Wishing her. I'm trying to locate the Filomena Friday jingle. We will get that back again. We might even remix it for 2022. That good one. One of the first jingles actually sung to us by Owen, a man of many talents, singer, and your cook on Sunday at the barbecue. We'll see what we can do about that, but I'll just sing it myself. Filomena Friday. Here she is on the
Olá, bom dia, alegria.
Well, this is a little bit different. Olá, bom dia, alegria. Let us say happy Portugal Day to each other.
Bom dia de Portugal.
Bom dia de Portugal there. And as you will notice, the first Portuguese language note of the day, Dia de Portugal, the de Portugal is very, very swallowed in the middle there, isn't it? Bom dia de Portugal there. But so you're happy Portugal Day. So glad to have you here with us to explain the significance and to celebrate it, basically, with all the gumpers here this morning. Philomena, how are you? What a lovely backdrop.
Bem, obrigada. Sim, this today.
It's all right. I can hear you now. I can hear you.
Well, yeah, there is. We are having a little bit of a problem with the internet connection, but we'll see. If I have to change somewhere else, we'll see.
Well, let's go with it. We'll go with it. It's not a problem.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. The visuals are beautiful, Philomena. You're beautiful. The backdrop is beautiful. We're all good. We're all good. Let's see how we get on. Okay. Right. So are you on a little bit of a tour then of central Portugal?
Well, I'm always on a tour.
That's true. That is so true, isn't it? Okay. And thank you for fitting us in that case. There you are, having a bit of leisure time, and you're very kindly gracing us with your presence, especially to talk about Portugal Day, on Portugal Day, no less, and the amazing literary legacy of Luis de Camões, of course, who is a central figure. Not the only part of this celebration, right? This is an important day because I guess of the 2 million people, or the estimate thereof, of the Portuguese diaspora around the world. This is a touch point for Portuguese people to celebrate their culture, remember the old country, right? That's part of it.
It's not just Portugal Day, it's Dia de Portugal, de Camões e das Comunidades Portuguesas.
Okay, so please
the Portuguese community throughout the...
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got a little bit of problem. I will breathe out.
Yeah, I think we'll have to sort this out. Maybe we'll try another spot here somewhere that I could have a better internet connection.
Alrighty.
Because I'm also breaking up also to me, so probably we have to change.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'll come back in a minute. Okay.
Look at that sky, folks, behind Philomena. Isn't that beautiful? We'll see in a little while. We'll see Philomena in a little moment when we have an adjustment over there on the Bleach Ranch this morning. Look at this. The mosquito cures are coming in this morning from Pips, who may know a thing about or two about this, living in a hot climate as well. Try a warm teaspoon and then whack the mosquito with it. Even a hot, cold, warm teaspoon, it doesn't matter. Just whack the mosquito. No, try a warm teaspoon held over the mozzie bites for the itch. Held over or pressed onto, I wonder. And use lavender and rosemary oil to soothe and repel. That's got to be better for you than the old DDT approach, isn't it? Off to dentist. That midlife crisis Portuguese lunch break. Well, with a Jeremy Corbyn picture in there with a little whisper, like a shut up Carl gesture. From Jeremy Corbyn. Same to you, Jeremy. Jezza. So midlife crisis Portuguese lunch break. No pseudonym or nom de plume this morning. Off to the dentist. But before he does, Feliz Dia de Portugal de Camões e das Comunidades Portuguesas. Of course, as Filomena just said there. Olá, gente. Tudo bem? Good morning to you, Rebel Mama. And boa sorte, pá. Pa, that's nice, isn't it? Boa sorte, amigo, pa. Good luck at the dentist there this morning. And Antonio, bon dia a todos as well this morning. And bon dia from Pam Smith. I didn't know there was a show today. Feliz Dia de Portugal. Yes, unlike what would we call it? The Portuguese administration and other Portuguese establishments, we do not observe the holidays. In fact, we rather like to make a big deal of them and discuss them and hang out together. There are no holidays in Gumperdom. I suppose because every day is a holiday in a way as well, isn't it? Many of us are very lucky here to live in quite a relaxed an easygoing manner, reminiscent of the holidays we may have looked forward to for 1 or 2 weeks of the year. It's 52 weeks of the year for many of us who are lucky enough to be in that situation. So happy to be here on this holiday. Bon dia, Filomena from Pedro Martins as well. Let's see if the connection's any better. Filomena, how's that?
I think we are better now. Let's try.
It sounds better to me already, so fantastic. Are you up to 40 degrees yet over that in the Castelo Branco district? Looks pretty hot there this morning.
Yes. 28 at the moment.
Wow, just 6 minutes after 9 and already 28 degrees. And I think we're heading for a nice warm weekend as we start off a long weekend celebration, I guess. I think you may well get up to the 40s over that way in Portugal this weekend. So yes, hydrate. Oh, that was my first cultural question for you this morning, Filomena. Why do so many Portuguese people drink bottled water when the tap water is perfectly safe?
Oh, I don't know. I can't hear you now. I think probably we'll have to.
You're going to move location. Drive
sorry.
back. No, don't worry. It's fine. Absolutely fine. It's not a problem for us.
Yeah. So can you repeat the question,
yes,
please?
we had a question come up. We were at the meetup on Wednesday, and it was like a Colombo, the detective Colombo. Somebody said to me as they were leaving, "Oh, one more thing, one question for you. Why do Portuguese people drink so much bottled water when the tap water quality is perfectly good?"
Well, I don't usually drink bottle, but I usually collect my water from a fountain. But the tap water. I mean, how I don't know. We just we don't want to have the habit to drink from the tap. No, well, there are some in Portugal there. For example, in Lisbon, and the water doesn't taste very well if you drink from the tap. At least in my opinion.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you, but I get the point of that person, and it is one of those questions. You go, oh yeah, actually, why would they do that? But yeah, that's my reason. I don't like the taste of tap water, and water
in the water. You can find lots of chemicals in the tap water sometimes, and so
yeah. Okay.
Mm.
All right. We have some Portuguese history, and I thought he was suffering from toothache this morning. We might not get any Portuguese history from the prof this morning. But let's do that. So let's do that as a way of starting off our celebrations and learning a bit more about Portuguese. The Portuguese institution that is Portugal Day. And let's start with the national anthem. I feel totally justified in playing this today. Ba-doo, ba-doo. Do, ba, 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 ba. Oh, the words. Marvelous. Okay, you're holding up the words for us there. Would you mind reading them out to us and giving us a translation, Philomena? What a great place to start.
Heróis do mar, nobre povo, nação valente, imortal, levantai hoje de novo o esplendor de Portugal. Entre as brumas da memória, ó pátria, sente-se a voz dos teus egrégios avós, que há de guiar-te à vitória. Às, ar às armas, sobre a terra, sobre o mar, às armas, pela pátria lutar, contra os canhões, marchar, marchar.
Yes. March. Oh, I got some of that. Can you break it down for us in the translation? Because although I was hearing it in Portuguese and managing to decode a good part of it, I was feeling the vibes, definitely. So can you break it down for us?
I'm sorry because I can't hear everything you say, but I guess you because I have sent you a small video
Oh yeah,
that I have recorded in our singing the national anthem. Remember?
of course, and I will play that as we go out today. I think,
Yeah.
unless you,
At least we can listen
yeah, okay,
to the GNR sing the national anthem.
all right, I will find that and I'll play it a little bit earlier than planned. But whilst I'm doing that, Philomena, can you tell us then about the significance of what I'll do is I'll ask you a question and then leave you a long time to answer it, because I think part of the problem here is me talking and it breaks up and you talking and it breaks up. So I will ask you my first question then about Luis Camões.
Sorry, I think we'll have to change again.
Oh, okay, all right. We'll come back to you. We will come back to you, don't
I'm
worry.
so sorry. Okay.
It's all right. It's really not a problem. But this is this happens sometimes, and we're all relaxed on
Yeah.
day. We'll go with the flow with this, and we'll come back to you when you give me a thumbs
Well,
up.
I will call Peter again and see what we can do.
All right.
Okay.
Hasta la próxima.
Okay.
All right. Ciao. Oh, that's a bit difficult for Filomena over there, isn't it, at the moment? But we will come back to her and we'll find out more about Portugal Day. Luis Camões as well. The and I'm always a little bit awkward when I say this because I'm using my literary metaphor. He's to me, I guess to people who worship Shakespeare in a sense, he is the Portuguese Shakespeare. But of course, he is a Portuguese literary star and legend in his own right. But just to give you an idea, let me just spark up Wikipedia, because it's always right to tell you a little bit about Luis Camões as well here on Portugal Day. How are you celebrating, folks? Let me know in the comments if you will. The comparison with Luis Camões is with Shakespeare, with Milton, with Homer, not that one, and Virgil and Dante. So there you go. He is considered Portugal's and the Portuguese language's greatest poet, born in 1580. And on this day, of course, today celebrates his birthday. Yeah, actually, I'll come back because it may well be that the prof has included Camões in the Portuguese history this morning. So let's have a look. Let's see what we have. Yes. No. Today in Portuguese history, 1992, the creation of RTP Internacional, a Portuguese channel that was broadcasted in foreign countries. Oh, I see. Not RTP itself, but RTP International, specifically thought for the wide emigrant network. Okay, the Portuguese diaspora there. And it is amazing if we dwell on that for a moment. We have Portuguese people around the world, 2 million of them. And the population back home is 10 million. So that's quite extraordinary, isn't it? And I'm sure that's just a guesstimate estimate there. An amazing day to be celebrating everything to do with Portugal and Portugueseness. Antonio F. Bom dia, Eusebio. E por sorte no dentista. Yes, of course. Warm teaspoon pressed onto the bite. The heat kills the poison. Cooks it more like, I think. And to Kawaii Pandas, thanks so much. I'll do that then. Yeah, isn't it reassuring to know that in any Airbnb you stay at, the teaspoons have been pressed onto people's skin to kill mosquitoes? Today in Portuguese history too, there we go. Luís de Camões dies on the 10th of June, 1580. Not born then today. When was his birthday? Oh, and there's some controversy around that, as you might imagine, right? So what's that? Born 1524 or 1525. Yes, so we're not sure. And did he die on his birthday? Is that what happened here? Is that why I've got some confusion around that? But the day of his death certainly is Portugal's national day. And various places try and claim him around the country. Was he born in Lisboa, as is claimed, or Coimbra, or even Constancia, or even Alenquer? We don't know, and probably never will. But I'm sure that won't stop each of those places claiming him to be his birthplace as well. Que vista bonita, Filomena. Shame about the Wi-Fi, but a lovely view there. Look, we can see the view again, actually. Isn't it lovely? And birdsong as well. That's fantastic, isn't it? At the Bleach Ranch over there, just working on the Wi-Fi so that we can connect back up to Philomena for a bit of Philomena Friday action. What festivities are people going to this weekend? Lots going on everywhere. Yes, of course. Yeah, I was hearing the beats late into the night last night, and I was thinking to myself, it actually hasn't started yet, and there are 9 more days of this to come. I wonder. We have a mate who lives on the seafront in San Martino de Porto. We might have to offer him a room here, back away from the marginal a little bit. Today, you're spoiling us today, Prof. Today in Portuguese History 3, 2012, the opening of the Museu da Cerveja in Lisboa. Very good choice of day to open up a Museum of Beer, Portugal Day. That's fantastic. 2012 then, Museum of Beer in Lisbon. I think our mate Bill was there the other day. Our tap water has a lot of calcium in it. Yes, sometimes you can barely make a cup of tea with all the chalk coming out of the kettle, right? Yeah, it is a matter of preference, isn't it? And the water quality from taps has to be of a certain public health requirement, doesn't it? And I suppose, of course, it does from fonts as well. But I think there's a little bit more latitude and bandwidth when it comes to what you're drinking from a font compared to what the government delivers you through the taps. El Rolinda, I'm guessing if it's in a restaurant, that's just the preference of the establishment, or depending on the region, there might be a specific flavor on tap water. And I wonder if there are people thinking, hold on a minute, water, specific flavors, water's water. It's not, is it? There is a real subtlety to water once you get into it and get past the chlorine and maybe the fluoride, but that probably hasn't got a taste, does it? That just gathers around your pineal gland or something like that, doesn't it? Allegedly. No norte pessoas não comprar mais águas minerais. I never see people at the market buying bottled water, but they probably get it from the local font, don't they? Personally, I find tap water in my region a bit heavy, and so prefer to drink bottled water, says Elra. Well done to the Seleção Portuguesa winning again last night in the Nations League. What? Tell us more, if you will, Pam. Thank you for that. Rebel Mama. Oh, this is where are you, Elra? And with your review of your local tap water. I used to live in Lisbon, Irish Council area. Yeah, and I think, yes, fair to say it. Like in London, they say that the water has passed through 12 people before it gets to you. And that's why they have to just treat it so harshly with chemicals to make it fit for consumption. I just boil the water and it's very clear and no odor or taste. That's another option, isn't it? Give it a boil and 100% safe, coming from a person who would get sick at the slightest bit of bacteria. Lol. Well, you are a sensitive creature, kawaii pandas. Oh, at Rebel, some areas in Lisbon, the water actually smelled like disinfectant. Yes, I have noticed that on my travels. Don't know if that is the case nowadays. And sometimes it's brown, isn't it? Or different colors. This was 20 years ago, probably. And I think somebody was complaining recently in the Algarve that their tap water was coming through orange or brown. Sometimes it's, you can hold up a bottle of bottled water, can't you, and see that it's actually clear, which is quite reassuring in a way, isn't it? I am celebrating that I don't have COVID while Hubby is locked in the guest room. Oh, with it, he deserves that. Oh, and he is only allowed out to use the outside bathroom. Harsh, Rebel Mama. If I feel fine tomorrow, then I beat it. Okay. Oh, poor old Mr. Mama. Should we call him that? It's Rebel Mama and Mr. Mama, Hubby Mama, is being locked in the guest room and is allowed out, but only to the outside toilet. It's a tough old regime up in the north there. Translation of the Portuguese anthem, short version: seafaring heroes, noble people. This is what hit me when I heard it in Portuguese. I could make this much out to Antonio. Seafaring heroes, noble people, brave, immortal nation, rise again today. The splendor of Portugal. I love it. Among the mists of memory, O fatherland, we feel the voice of our great forefathers that shall lead you to victory, to arms, overland, overseas, to arms, to arms. And of course, a lot of national anthems do have these themes in them, don't they? Arming and victory. Let's sort of make that a little more of a tender interpretation, right? The influence of the Portuguese coming into the arms rather than arms as weapons, the open arms of Portugal. That's how I'm hearing it. Let's fight for our fatherland against the cannons. March on, march on. Against the cannons of golden visa controversy, we will march on. We will march on, and we'll see if Philomena is any better connected. So
We'll see. We'll see.
We've got you twice. This is fantastic. Look at that. Have you ever seen yourself like that? Just one, she's saying.
One is enough.
Not at all. Pete, can you organise 3 or 4 more? Be like a George Michael video.
Yeah, Pete can be on the other one.
Yeah, of course. Pete, jump on the other side of the room. Yeah. How are you doing, Philomena? That's a whole lot better now. I think you're nearer to the router.
Yeah, because I couldn't hear you a while ago. So you were asking things I couldn't understand.
Well, I've done a little bit about Luis Camões, Vaz de Camões. We know that Lisbon claims him, that Coimbra claims him, that everyone wants to claim him because he's the foremost Portuguese poet, the Shakespeare, the Virgil, the Dante of Portugal. Did you want to add anything to that about the significance of Camões?
Well, because I haven't heard, I haven't heard it. So, okay. So speaking about Camões, Camões died on the 10th of June, 1580. So that's why, right? That's why we are celebrating Dia de Portugal de Camões. He was the greatest writer in Portuguese language. And Camões is so important for Portugal that the Portuguese language is known as the language of Camões.
Oh.
Yeah. So his masterpiece was Os Lusíadas. So Os Lusíadas is considered the most important book of the Portuguese literature, and it's an epic poem, a huge epic poem. First of all, speaking about Camões, he was born in 1524, probably in Lisbon. We're not sure, but he was a member of a noble family, and when he was 3 years old, his family went to Coimbra, so near my hometown. Well, Coimbra is the city I was born. So he went to Coimbra because the family wanted to escape the plague that was at the time in Lisbon. So he was raised in Coimbra, and as you know, Coimbra is one of the oldest universities of Europe, and he was raised with a classical education. He has learned Latin, history, and many other subjects. And he was used to read the great authors of classical literature. Mm. So then when he was 20 years old, he decided to return to Lisbon. And because he was a nobleman, he was admitted into the court of the King John III. But Camões was a bohemian. He liked women, he liked drinking, he liked a lot, he was an adventurer. So,
well, that's why he's such a hero among the Portuguese. Then it's not the poetry, is it? It's his womanizing and drinking and partying. Yes, that's why he's a national hero.
Drinking, partying, yeah, that's the. So he joined the army because he wanted more adventure. So he joined the army and he went to the north of Africa for 2 years. And then when he was in a naval battle, he lost his right eye. Yeah. So from that moment on, he just had one eye. And then when he was back in Lisbon, of course, he went again to his bohemian life as before. And he was always getting involved in street fights and things like that.
Wow, truly a Renaissance man. So he wrote poetry and he was a bohemian character, and he liked fighting as well, scrapping. Yes, and
he was always fighting someone, and so he ended up in prison with all those. He was a troublemaker. But of course, as I said, because he was part of the nobility, And so with his contacts, he was pardoned by the king, and then he was sent to serve Portugal in India. So instead of being in prison, he could go to India and serve Portugal there in India. So he went in 1553, who was the son of Pedro Álvares Cabral, who discovered Brazil. So he followed all the footsteps of Vasco da Gama, who had discovered the sea route to India about 60 years before. So he arrived at Goa in 1554. Then he spent about 15 years altogether in the East, which was essential also to his development as a writer and a poem, because besides having a classical education at the University of Coimbra, then going to the East gave him new horizons, right? So he had lots of new experiences, so which made him the best Portuguese writer of all times. So he wrote Os Lusíadas. He started writing there. Then later he was sent to Macau, again because he got involved in some quarrels.
Well, he had to leave Goa. He's having a great time in Goa.
He went on fighting, and so he was sent to Macau, and then he stayed there for 2 years. And then when he was returning from Macau to Goa, his boat sunk. And he survived, and he was so worried to save his masterpiece, the Lusíadas, that he was grabbing the original manuscript of Os Lusíadas and carrying it on one hand above his head, and swimming just with the other arm and with one eye, right? Like that.
What a legend! What a total lusophonic legend this man is.
So he went to Goa then, and then later he wanted to return to Portugal in 1567. But he took a boat. He was told that the boat was going to Portugal, but it wasn't.
Okay.
He was taken to what now is Mozambique in Africa, right? So instead, he just landed in Mozambique, and he stayed there for about 2 years also. And because he didn't have anything there, so he lived very poorly, in great poverty. And then later on, a friend helped him and took him back to Portugal in 1570. So then he finished writing Os Lusíadas, and the king, our king Sebastian, who was a quite young king, he liked the book so much that he decided to publish it in 1572. So Os Lusíadas were first published in 1572. Then later on, in 1578, our king, Sebastian, went to a battle in the north of Africa, in Alcácer Quibir, and he just disappeared. We haven't seen him ever since.
Really? I mean, that's like a fitting end, isn't it, to a life of this kind, isn't it? Really enigmatic and mysterious.
Yes, there is, of course. Then there are always legends, and so there was a legend saying that on a foggy morning, our King Sebastian would return on a foggy morning. But
sorry, the king disappeared, not Camões.
Not Camões, no, the king.
Okay. No, okay, I've heard this legend, and then he supposed. Yes, go on.
I'm sorry, but I'm speaking about the disappearance of the king, because it was important 2 years later, because with the disappearance of the king, there was a succession crisis, right? So who was next in the throne? Yes. And so for 2 years, until 1580, there were lots of problems, and Portugal ended up losing its independence to Spain, and so we became part of the
Oh,
empire, and we were ruled by the King Philip II of Spain, the first of.
boo!
So yeah, ooh.
Yes, boo!
So in 1580, have you noticed that it's the same year when Camões died?
Yes.
So we can say that our greatest poet died, and our nation also died as a nation, right? Because the same year Camões died, we lost our independence to Spain, and we were part of the Spanish Empire for 60 years. So then, just in 1640, we had a revolution in October, in December, to restore our independence on
Wow.
the 1st of December. But so about the Lusíadas. So
Oh, all right. We'll just give you the full.
Lusíadas, this is just a school book,
Yes.
a school edition of Os Lusíadas, because of course this is the 16th century Portuguese, and so every student at school, they all have to read this, and because it's 16th century Portuguese, there is a lot of explanation
Of course.
on the book, right?
Is it hugely different, Philomena, the language of that time and the contemporary language?
Of course, I mean, it's like Shakespeare language, right?
Okay, so that's the kind of the comparison. You have to kind of
Yeah,
do a little bit, quite a bit of
it's
decoding.
like the Tao for right. In English, it's also a
Yes.
bit different. Yes,
Okay.
it's there are, and of course the kind of vocabulary and everything, right?
Mm.
So this is an epic poem then, and it tells the deeds of the Lusitanians, because os Lusíadas means the Lusitanians, the people from Portugal, right?
Like the guy in
Portuguese.
the picture, like the guy in the picture here. That's a Lusitanian
The guy in the
warrior.
picture is Camões.
Yes, no, look, Antonio F's YouTube picture here. That looks a Lusitanian warrior, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the sun, I can't see much, but yes. Yeah, but yeah. So it's basically it's about the Portuguese, and it's about Vasco da Gama sea route to India. You know, the Portuguese discoveries. So it's all about praising the deeds of the small nation that was Portugal, but with lots and lots to give to the world, right?
Fantastic. And Philomena, when kids are studying at school, sorry, I got to get the pronunciation right. Lusíadas is the epic poem.
Lusíadas.
Lusíadas. But to make it work for kids, and especially teenagers, you'd want the bio as well, wouldn't you? The biog and the story of Camões. Because, I mean, what a great history lesson to learn about the boozing, brawling, drinking, fornicating, navigator. I mean, what a fantastic story to be able to tell and hear as an inspiring backdrop to then hear the literature.
Yeah.
Was it like when you were you amazed when you were a teenager learning about Camões?
Well, yeah, we usually learn this at school when we are about 14
Right.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah, it will depend on the quality of the teaching, I guess, won't it?
Yes. Sometimes we don't know all the details.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fornicating, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. But so this is a very big poem. It has 1,102 stanzas, and so altogether 8,816 verses. So and everything throughout the entire book are subject to the same rhyme scheme. So imagine the effort to do the rhyming scheme all the same throughout the book.
Wow.
And so the story, of course, is as any epic poem, it has a hero. In this case, the hero is the Portuguese people, the entire Portuguese nation. And although a small nation, it was a pioneer in discovering new worlds, right? So the entire work is just a sort of love letter to Portugal and to the glory of the Portuguese. That's
That is
the
wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. And Elra, I don't think enjoyed learning about it at school. Look, avoid it like the plague. She says, "Don't be like that, Elra. It's really exciting for us foreigners and expats discovering this epic work. Not that I think. I mean, the only person likely to read it in our community from front to back is Deagle, and he'll probably do it in a single sitting." With his application to the language and the culture. So Deagle, a little bit of homework for you over the weekend there to read the Lusíadas there from Luis de Camões. Now, can we move on to the unless of course there's more to say about Camões, which I suspect.
Well, I would like to read at least a poem from Camões.
Hey, yes, please.
Yeah. So a poem that I like very much. Amor é fogo que arde sem se ver.
Beautiful. The screen is yours.
Yeah, well, okay. So, amor é fogo que arde sem se ver. É ferida que dói e não se sente. É contentamento descontente. É dor que desatina sem doer. É não querer mais que bem querer. É andar solitário entre a gente. É nunca contentar-se de contente. É cuidar que ganha em se perder. É querer estar preso por vontade. É servir a quem vence, o vencedor. É ter com quem nos mata lealdade. Mas como causar pode seu favor nos corações humanos amizade, se tão contrário a si é o mesmo amor?
Beautiful, beautiful. Will you give us a sense of the poem, a translation, maybe not a whole translation, but what are we dealing? What human themes are we dealing with?
So this means love is a fire that burns without being seen.
Oh yes,
right?
Yeah, we can all attest to that.
So love is a fire that burns without being seen. It's a wound that hurts and you don't feel it.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
a discontented contentment.
Oh yes.
It's a pain that cracks without hurting. It's not wishing more than wishing well. It's a lonely walk among people. It's never being content to be content. It's a care that is gained by losing. It's wanting to be trapped by desire. It's serving the one who wins, the winner. It's to have loyalty to the one who kills you. But how can its favorite cause in human hearts friendship, if so contrary to itself is love itself?
Oh my goodness. A few things to say there. I mean, this is no wonder you're such a hit with the ladies. I mean, you start reading that and it'd be like, I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but oh my God, let's get naked. It's that kind of quality, isn't it, of the poetry? And this is it. What you said before, Philomena, about how the king disappeared and how the poet died. I don't know about the king, about needing a king. Obviously, at the time, the Portuguese people felt bereft and without leadership, but without the literary leadership, without the inspiration of the poet. This is why this tells us today, doesn't it? Why poets and artists are so important to the human soul. And illustrated in that story there, the year he dies is when Portugal goes into a wilderness and the king disappears as well, and Spain takes over. dreaded fate. Yes. So look after the poets in your lives, everybody. That's a great takeaway this morning from what Philomena is telling us, and on this special day, Portugal Day here today. Yes, love the artists and the poets, everybody. Especially now, we really need them. And is King Sebastian, the one who's supposed to come gliding in on the clouds at some point? Is that him?
Sebastian, sorry.
I heard that one of the kings, he disappeared. Is he the one who disappeared to Brazil? And one day he's supposed to come.
No, he disappeared in the north of Africa.
Oh, okay.
He disappeared in a battle And
Oh,
the legend says that he will come back one of these mornings, but on a foggy morning, he will come back.
yeah. Okay, that's what I've heard, because they say that on the Silver Coast, and you look out on the Silver Coast across a
Yeah.
sea mist, and maybe King Sebastian will come back to us.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so it's
If it's a foggy morning, watch out, because King Sebastian might return.
yes, and he's going to be in a bit of a state after all this time. Let's face it; it's going to be like the Thriller video when King Sebastian
Yes.
returns. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much for that treat of the Portuguese national anthem, which very Elra again, saying the poet in the translation that we had, the poetry was taken out of it. It happens, doesn't it? It would take a very skilled person to translate the Portuguese national anthem and still make it rhyme. But I love the vibes. I love the vibes of the Portuguese national anthem. There we go. That we've got Camões there. The Comunidades Portuguesas, the community part. What's the significance there? This is uniting Portuguese people all over the world and in the country.
Yes, yes. The Portuguese are spread all over the world,
For
right?
sure.
And so today it's a very special day, especially if you are not in Portugal, if you are an immigrant.
Yeah.
Of course, today is a very special day because you really miss your country,
Yeah.
and so you have to celebrate the fact that you are Portuguese and that you speak Portuguese. So this is a celebration, basically, of being Portuguese, speaking Portuguese. This is a celebration of the Portuguese language, essentially.
Beautiful. So shout out if you're American, call out if you're British. And I don't know what the Portuguese would do to their friends and family around the world, but lots of love to you. I mean, here we are loving your country, being in your country and enjoying your hospitality. Love to you wherever you are in the world. Beijinhos, beijinhos. And
Beijinhos para
yes,
todos, beijinhos.
yes, abraços for all the Portuguese people around the world this morning. Quite incredible. And Pam, tonight at the chat club, that's a really good way of learning Portuguese. Portuguese chat club, discussing what we love about Portugal. Well, that's going to be a long evening. It's going to be a long evening. Look at this. Rebel Mummo, I think, wants to know a bit more about that. The translation robs the anthem of all its poetry, Antonio F. It was really quick. He had to respond quickly there.
Yes, it was just a quick translation. So
Absolutely. And spoons in Airbnbs, why would you say that, horror? They get washed in the dishwasher. Don't worry, Kawaii Pandas. It's okay. I'm staying at my partner's place, so I'm just spreading disease at home. No worries. Good. Spread the germs with the ones you love. Unlike Rebel Mama, of course, who's locked the husband in the guest room and is only allowing him to use the outside toilet at the moment. Good luck over there. Hola, bon dia, gria, todos de Pombal. I'm very late to today's show, Matty. Not a problem. Did you have a restless night? Don't eat old food, mate. We miss drinking fountain water, agua de font. Yes, the conversation continues.
I do.
Yeah, you do. You still do, though, right? You're drinking.
I do that, yeah, because the water is usually regularly checked by the town hall. So we are absolutely 100% sure that it's okay to drink.
And different waters from different regions have different medicinal properties, of course, don't they?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yes, of course they do. Something that the modern people can forget. Jerk chicken wraps with a mango salsa. Ooh, just one of the dishes to be served on Sunday. Ooh, you are teasing us. What a great way to go into a Portugal day here, Philomena. Portuguese national team won yesterday 2-0 against the Czech Republic in the Nations League. Fantastic. Well done. Thank you, Pam, for that as well. Dad joke, Gary Austin's here. I've been banned from Leroy Merlin or Leroy Merlin. One of the assistants asked me if I wanted decking, so I thought I'd best get him first, and he punched him. Does that translate well? I have almost every overwhelming sense that with all the public mingling and celebrating this weekend, we'll see a significant increase in new COVID infections. That may well be true, James, but let's go with what the symptoms might be. I'm sure all infectious diseases have spread like this since time immemorial. We just haven't been measuring every single one of them.
And now with all the vaccinations and everything, the majority are just feeling like a flu, right?
That's right. I mean, on a microscopic level, back in the day, can you imagine people hugging and kissing each other, doing what Camões did best with each other, and chicken pox, this, that, and the other going round. And if you're not susceptible, often, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it, with germ theory or terrain theory? A lot of it is how well you are yourself. We haven't done much on that side of the equation, right?
And we have been protecting ourselves for the past 2 years now. And so our immune system is not very good at the moment, isn't it? But
Right.
we have to face the dangers to get our immune system also working, isn't it?
I would agree with you, Filomena. So when you're getting the water from the tap, lick the tap, everybody. No, don't do that. That's a silly thing to say. Pedro Martins, bem-vinda. Oh, yes, use those Airbnb teaspoons and don't worry about it. Bem-vinda, Filomena, from Pedro. I think you related. Pedro and you are
No,
connected cousins.
I don't think so.
I thought he said that. I have put the Camões connection, the Wikipedia link in the chat so that you can find out more about this legend, literary legend, Portuguese legend. Hello, guys, taking it down with you. Simone in Cape Town, lovely to see you here. Carl, the original version, before it became the national anthem, had Britons instead of cannons. Oh, no. Oh, this is awkward. As the song was created as a protest against the 1890 British ultimatum. Now, you don't want to be on the end of a British ultimatum, do you? So thank you, Portuguese people, if I may, on behalf of the British, as some sort of representative, thank you for modifying from Britons to cannons in later versions. Oh, yeah, let's move on, shall we? Despite appearances, the war in Ukraine did not extinguish the risk of contracting COVID-19. I know how eager we are to be free of it, but that is not yet now. A little warning there from James. Most likely, what's this? We can't stay locked up forever. People are jabbed and or getting used to fighting it off. We will be fine, says Kawaii Pandas. Chris is in as well. Faja do dia. T.S. Monk. Bon vie. Give me the good life. Yes, another great track. Good selection today, Mr. Selector. Dedicated to all the gumpers around the world. Fantastic. Agreed, Kawaii Pandas, but I'm still not going to attend a festival if I'm relatively certain I'll be significantly exposed to any serious illness. Fair enough, good call, and a personal one at that. Very good. In that time, European countries had divided Africa among them. Going back to a bit of Portuguese history there in the Camões references, and Portugal claimed the area between Angola and Mozambique. My goodness, when you could still do that and sent troops there, I suppose we're still doing it in a certain way, aren't we? Because the British wanted, cliffhanger here, about Luciada. I think Elra's got some beef. Yeah, avoid it like the plague. I guess we got to our infectious love of it hopefully will infect you and have you reconsider the Luciadas after your school pain there. I think all territories between Cairo. Sorry, go on.
Of course, when you are 14, it's not the most interesting thing to read, isn't it?
It's not, is it? But if exactly, it's the same with Shakespeare. Shakespeare is killed by school, isn't it? When it could be, if you get the right age and the right motivation, the right context, it's with all of these things, they are the most beautiful, touching. What are they? Concepts, theories, mechanisms to touch and inspire the human soul. But if you have 30 of you sat in a hot room reading it out without any context, it's just a punishment, basically. So give it another chance, Elra, and maybe Netflix will make a series about the life of Luis de Camões.
That would be
good. I mean, who could play Colin Farrell? Oh, no, which Portuguese actor is going to play Camões, do you think?
I don't know.
We could get the guy who does The Price is Right. He'd be great.
Maybe.
All right. All territories between Cairo and Cape Town, they demanded Portugal to give up those territories, and the Portuguese government at the time conceded, which wasn't well seen by the nation. No, perhaps the right thing to do, but not the thing that people wanted. I'm hoping to get an exhibition on censorship, Lápis Azul, at the Wine Museum. Get to it, actually, not get it. Been meaning to go for ages, end soon. So Lápis Azul on now at the Wine Museum, not the Beer Museum. Oh, Philomena is at Pete's Place. I recognize the backdrop. I think it's available as a green screen. If everybody wants to appear from Pete's Place, could you take a photo of that and send it to all of us on WhatsApp, and we can all be at Pete's Place virtually? It's a great backdrop. Okay. I think James and Kawaii comparing notes on germ theory and terrain theory there. My teacher had an illustrated version of Luciada there. Shakespeare was very close to being a Brummie. Can you imagine? Only 20 miles away. He obviously spoke proper English, like what I do. Bit of a wait in the dentist's office. Time for a dad joke. Always time for a dad joke. Neil João Jackson. Hola, bon dia, Filomena. Do you know Neil?
Hola, ciao.
Xiao. That's interesting, isn't it? Chinese pronunciation and Portuguese very similar there.
Xiao. So you can say Xiao Xiao.
There he is. You could have given the window a lick on the way past, Pete. The percentage of people who need to be immune to achieve herd immunity varies with each disease. Example, against measles requires no. I'm not an epidemiologist, but comment there. I once met a girl who runs a battery kiosk in our local park. She sells sea cells by the seesaw. Oh my word! Very good quality dad joke there. Well done. Helping with the dental pain, possibly. Hopefully, it's just routine stuff. Filomena Friday. We're celebrating Portugal Day. Anything we should do? What should we be drinking? What should we be eating? We're a bit worried about hugging.
Portuguese wine.
Yeah, Portuguese wine. Is there a traditional favorite? Is there something, a pão com chorizo or something that we should be having today?
Well, here where we are in Fundão, there is the festival, the cherry festival.
Oh, of course, yeah. Cherries are
the cherries from Fundão are the best cherries in Portugal. Of course, people from the north now they are going to say no, they aren't. No, they aren't. But these cherries are the best.
But we know what you're doing, Filomena. You're waiting for an invitation from the north of Portugal to come and taste the cherries, and that's where you'll be. That's where you'll be next time, maybe. Okay, who was the author? This is to the prof. Who was the author you posted about the other day who wrote about the north and killed himself? I think that was yesterday's Today in Portuguese History. I can't remember the name either. Trinidad, I remember it being his middle name. Do you remember that author, Filomena? A northern sort of character writer, I think. Anyway, we'll come back. The prof. Oh, there we go. The prof, I think, will be able to answer that. I went into my local printers and said I need a 2 meter A and a 2 meter S and a 2 meter K, and I need them by tomorrow. He said, I see what I can do, but it's a big ask. Oh my goodness, these are good, aren't these? These are like black belt dad jokes here. Talking of A's, S's, and K's while you're here, Filomena, my children learning the Portuguese alphabet. What have you done to the alphabet, Portuguese people? Can we just go through it quickly? Because it's a real shocker, a real surprise, isn't it?
Why?
Well, I'm used to Sesame Street. You know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. You have some complicated things going on in the alphabet. Maybe we go through it quickly. Come on.
No way. Portuguese is never complicated.
Okay, that's true. That's true. But could you do the Portuguese alphabet for us? And let's see if anyone agrees with me that it's a little bit unusual and quirky.
Well, I don't have any song. It's just a...
Exactly. None of it rhymes.
No, it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G,
So far, so good. So far, so good. But then you went a bit funny with the gear. So G is gear?
G.
Gay.
G.
Who's that?
Well,
is that
it might be gay, yeah, but it's gay.
Gay. That's what I said. Gay. Okay. Glad to be gay. Right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And then we have, for example, the H. How do we say the H?
Ha.
Aga.
Exactly. Aga. What? Okay. Aga. Of course you do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, I mean nothing special about the alphabet. It's just aga. Yeah. We also have we don't have any Portuguese words with W or Y or K, right? But we say for the K we say kappa. For the W, and for the Y we say Y.
That's so kawaii pandas here. It's quite difficult being in Portugal because we haven't got any letters for you. So, but can we carry on though? So we had G, Aga.
Yeah, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, L, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, X, Z.
X, Z. And
X is X.
Jota was in there as well.
Jota, yes, the J, Jota.
Of course. I love it. I'm not knocking it. I'm not knocking it. It just really it surprised me after a long time. You know, I haven't done it to my shame. I've not done any formal classroom learning, so I didn't hear the alphabet very early on. And then I heard it. I was thinking, what are all these things in here? Agas and jotas and kappas and things like that. So I know it's just normal for you, but that's a little bit unusual for me. Sandra is here. Hola, Filomena. A tua apresentação sobre o Dia de Portugal e Luís Camões foi muito interessante. Obrigado. There you go. I would agree. Igualmente.
Nada. Obrigada, Sandra.
Absolutely. Okay, but there is a thing called. Oh, okay, all right. We'll stay with Portugal Day, and we'll allow the conversation to continue in the chat about comparing COVID notes. Dad joke: a village elder walks barefoot most of the time, resulting in rough feet. He also ate very little, which made him frail, and with his odd diet, he suffered from bad breath. This made him super calloused, fragile mystic with chronic halitosis. You could hear that coming down the street, couldn't you? Like you could smell that guy coming down the street. But Johnny Mondelers, Johnny, how are you? How's that shoulder? Bom dia, alegria, Filomena, cale todos. Our water from the borehole tastes like champagne. Isn't that a lovely thing to be able to say? Yeah, fresh water that hasn't been kept in a tank. It's just coming out of the ground. And yeah, I get that. I get the vibes there, Johnny. That's beautiful. Relaxing. Hold on a minute. COVID notes continuing there. Bullfighting in Portugal. Although the bull might not get killed, it does get harmed because it gets speared 3 times a day by a person on a horse. Well, there's a cheerful thought. Thank you very much for that contribution, Garvo there. Thanks, Carl. The Trinidad gave it away. Zé Trinidad Francisco. There we go. So, Zé Francisco de Trinidad Coelho is the writer we were looking for. Adoro cerejas. There you go. Cherries, if you need to ask for them in Portugal.
Me too.
Yes, same. Me too in Portuguese. Because when
Eu também.
Eu também. That's a really good phrase to know, eu também, isn't it? Rather than saying igualmente, which isn't quite right in that context.
No, that is likewise.
Likewise, but you could, I mean, you know, but go with eu também.
You can say igualmente, but in Portuguese we wouldn't say igualmente for this case. We would just say eu também.
Okay, my partner's from Fundão. He stands by the best cherries thing.
I told you, the best cherries.
You get to Fundão, if you're lucky enough, you get to a tree and just go the Homer Simpson style.
Yes.
There you go. All right, and Jack Polly is in. What's this with red faces? She looks angry. Bon dia a todos. Oh, she's hot. Back from our walk and on Café y Pastel de Nata. It was 24 at 6 o'clock this morning. My goodness. 24 degrees at 6 this morning, predicting to be in the mid-30s this afternoon. Everybody be careful. Enjoy your day of Portugal. And, of course, stay hydrated in the shade. Take the necessary precautions with these hot temperatures. It's going to be a hot one this weekend. Have faith in your pens like Luis de Camões had in his, because it has the power to change perceptions. Have a very happy Portugal day. That's a lovely thing to say, eh, Philomena?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, having a little bit of a cough there. I need some more Portuguese water myself. E can also be said y.
Y, sim. Y, we say y or y, yes.
Nothing funny about that. Right, Philomena. Right, Philomena. What's this? Yes. Oh, this is great. So Khadija, when she's spelling her name, yes, my name is K-H-A-D-A-J-A. What? Bless you. That woman a tissue. Oh, brilliant. Well, guess I'll make some good pastéis de nata now that Jack mentioned it. Good way to celebrate Portugal Day when abroad. So, yeah, we were talking, in Portugal, obviously easy to eat some Portuguese food, drink some Portuguese wine. For the people around the world, they might be reaching for their aguardente later, their chorizo, their pastel de nata. Yes, but the saudade will be high, won't it? It'll be registering at 11 for a lot of Portuguese people around the world. So we send love to you. All this talk of cherries is making me jealous and hungry. Yes. Shoulder. Oh, Johnny, speak to Matty about your shoulder pain. I'm sure he can help you with that. And Tabitha's in as well. Tabitha Lindaboom. What a fantastic name. Bon dia from you. And a reminder from Cindy B. Fondle that like button for this festive show. Bon fin de semana. Bon dia de Portugal. last few words with you then. We will play the national anthem as you filmed it, Filomena, but is there anything else you want to say about this special day?
No, I mean, this is, as I said, a celebration of the Portuguese language, and so being Portuguese, and you know, so of course I love Portugal, as everybody knows. So this is a great day.
Yes, indeed. And the least you can do, given the love of, what is it? Anyone heard of queijo andino delight? So yummy, sort of like a nata, but not. Very good. Another little tip there. Oh, there we go. Hold on, let me just give you the whole screen. They are sparkling with a starburst, natural starburst filter on them. Look at those. We're going to have a live eating of a cherry now. Here we go. Would you taste it live?
Come here.
No. Oh, she's got to taste one. You've got to eat one, Philomena. You can't just show us. Yeah, here we go. And how is it? Oh, big old thumbs up for the he's in the background as well. Hello.
Very good.
Have you locked him out of the room now? Morning.
I've told him to come over here.
Philomena's got the box of cherries and locked Pete out. Good work. Brilliant. The cherries are awesome. Portuguese is a beautiful language. So final point here. We're celebrating the what's this? Amanhã Hadesh from Pedro as well. Lots more coming in, just as we're trying to draw to a close here. Portuguese is a beautiful language. You're absolutely right, Tabitha. And the least we can do as foreigners, as estrangeiros today on the Day of Portugal, is to try a bit. And you can at least go out today, can't you, and say Bom dia de Portugal when you meet people. Olá, bom dia de Portugal, bom fim de semana, adoro cerejas, whatever it is you want to say. But give it a go, folks. What a lovely day. If you've been a little bit scared so far, today's the day to try it, because Portuguese people are in a really good mood as well, aren't they?
Yeah. And do you think I can explain something to someone who texts me about the difference between two words in Portuguese?
Of course you can. If you're willing to, you're very welcome.
So Sandy has texted me. She's in Vancouver Island. And she texts me to explain the pronunciation of escola and escolha. So.
Oh, sorry. Escolha and escolha.
Escola, which is school, and escolha, which is choose.
Okay, yes.
So escola is just with L, and escolha is with LH, right? So the difference is the sound of the LH that you don't have in English is the y sound. And of course, the L is just L. So escola and escolha. There is also a slight difference in the O. Do you notice the slight difference on the pronunciation of the O? Escola. Yep. Remember the O. We did with the O and the O.
Open your vowels.
Escola with O. And then esco, like a vo.
Monkey.
Escolha. 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 So escola. Escola. So you can say choose the school. You can say escolha escola.
Escola. Okay, thank you very much. Who was that for?
Sandy.
Thank you very much for that.
On Vancouver Island.
On Vancouver Island. And Pedro saying amanhã desfile em Toronto para celebrar Dia de Portugal. Okay, so celebrations happening all over the world. I'll tell you what, Pedro, it'd be lovely to have a picture. If you can remember to send us a picture. Portuguese folks celebrating Portugal Day. If you want to send them in, we'd be delighted to share those with the community here. 913-590-303. Happy Portuguese Day, all Portuguese. Greetings from Ireland.
If we are finishing,
yeah,
I would like to finish, if I may, with another poem, not from Camões this time, but from another great Portuguese writer from the late 19th, early 20th century, Fernando Pessoa.
Oh, I feel vindicated because I thought Portugal Day was about Pessoa, which I was wrong about. But of course, there's no harm in mentioning Pessoa on Portugal Day, is there? As you're about to do. Fantastic. No. Take it away, Philomena. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you to Pete as well for supplying the backdrop and the cherries. And after you finish, Philomena, we will go out with the national anthem that you filmed as a celebration of all things good and great about Portugal. And we'll see you on Monday with Gilda. But thank you so much, Philomena. Let's finish with a Pessoa poem.
Okay, so, Mar Português. Ó mar salgado, quanto do teu sal são lágrimas de Portugal. Por te cruzarmos, quantas mães choraram, quantos filhos em vão rezaram, quantas noivas ficaram por casar para que fosses nosso, ó mar. Valeu a pena? Tudo vale a pena se a alma não é pequena. Quem quer passar além do bujador tem que passar além da dor. Deus ao mar o perigo e o abismo deu, mas nele é que espelhou o céu.
Thank you, Filomena. Bom fim de semana. Bom dia de Portugal. Filomena e a todos.
Bom dia a todos.